I'm sure many of you have heard the statement, Tesla does not advertise or pay for endorsements. Instead, we use that money to make the product great. That message is infamously said by Elon Musk, and I think this message itself became a kind of an endorsement or advertisement for Tesla. Think of all the big brands out there that spend millions upon millions of dollars on advertising and trying to tell people how great their product is. But here comes Tesla saying they spend $0 on advertising, and yet they are still one of the top selling cars in the world. Regardless of whether or not this message is actually true, we must ask the question of how and why was this message so sticky? How and why did this message get so much attention by the masses? And why was it so effective in presenting Tesla's core value? That is the question we will try to explore in this video by looking at the book Made to Stick, written by Chip and Dan Heath. By the end of this video, you will know exactly why this message from Tesla was made to stick. Hi guys, Jake in here with another video. If you're new here, we talk about entrepreneurship, business management, self-improvement, book reviews, and more. Consider subscribing if you're into such topics. So, what makes an idea stick? How do you make sure that people actually listen to your story and remember it? With so many voices and contents out there, how do you make your voice stand out? Anyone in the modern era that is able to tell a compelling message to the masses almost immediately gets awarded with success. And yet, not many know how exactly to tell a message that is effective in getting the necessary attention. How to make your message sticky, that's the topic this book tries to tackle. When I first started reading this book, I thought to myself, if this book that claims that they know how messages are created to be sticky, and yet the book itself is not sticky, then the author surely must not know what he's talking about. It would be like someone with the weakest and the unhealthiest body saying, I know all about health, muscle, and fitness. That makes no sense, right? And I am relieved to tell you that the message that this book provides is truly easy to remember and quite effective for immediate implementation. Their whole message is centered around the word success. Yes, the word success minus the S at the end. So, what does success in this book stand for? S stands for simple, U stands for unexpected, D stands for concrete, second C stands for credible, E stands for emotion, and finally, the last S stands for story. Let's take a brief look at each of the letters and what these letters stand for. All right, the first letter S stands for simple. The author states that for your message to be sticky, it must be simple. What does he mean by simple? For a message to be simple, it must be core and compact. For a message to be core, it must contain the essential elements of the story you're trying to convey. For example, when you watch a YouTube channel, the popular and most viewed videos are able to show the core of their content in the first few seconds of the video. You can immediately tell what the video is about and what kind of story the creator is trying to tell through this video. And for a message to be compact, one must break the message down into the smallest and simplest form possible. But why? It's because we are often tempted to tell everyone everything with perfect accuracy right up front, especially when we think we have something important to tell others. But even if you have the most profound message or idea in the world, if the other is not able to truly grasp what you're saying and make a change in their lives through it, what good would your message do? People grasp onto compact messages, but long-winded explanations are easily forgotten. So, make your message simple. The second word is unexpected. Think back to what you did yesterday. If nothing was out of the ordinary, I'm pretty sure most of you wouldn't have a clear memory or recollection on how exactly the day went. But imagine you witnessed a massive car accident right in front of you. That image would be burned into your memory and you would probably not forget that incident for a very long time. For your message to stand out, it has to be unexpected. In other words, it has to break a pattern. The book says surprise makes us want to find an answer to resolve the question of why we were surprised, and big surprises call for big answers. If we want to motivate people to pay attention, we should seize the power of big surprises. All right, the third word is concrete. What does it mean to be concrete? I'll give you an example that the book provides. I will try explaining what a pomelo is to a person who've never seen a pomelo before. The first explanation goes like this. A pomelo is the largest citrus fruit. The rind is very thick but soft and easy to peel away. The resulting fruit has a light yellow to coral pink flesh and can vary from juicy to slightly dry and from seductively spicy sweet to tangy and tart. Quick question, based on this explanation, would you be able to easily picture what a pomelo is? I doubt it. Now, let's hear the second explanation. A pomelo is basically a supersized grapefruit with a very thick and soft rind. How about now? If you know what a grapefruit is, it would be super easy for you to picture what a pomelo would look like. This is the meaning of being concrete. Avoid being abstract in your explanation. Bring it down to the level of what many will be able to immediately grasp and understand. Find a universal language, one that everyone speaks fluently. The third word is credible. There are many ways to add credibility to your message. Finding an authority figure to back your message is one way. If Michael Jordan endorses my message, it would immediately add weight and credibility to the message. Adding details can also help. By making a claim tangible and concrete, details make it seem more real, more believable. Adding statistics is another way of adding credibility. Public debaters such as Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson love using data and statistics to back their claim, which adds credibility to their message. We intuitively know that details add authority and credibility, but I think purposefully adding details to show credibility to your story can backfire at times. If you've ever seen documentaries or YouTube videos of investigating criminals by detectives, the criminals intuitively know that adding extra details about a certain situation would likely add to the credibility of their story, which makes them outline a whole lot of details that are actually irrelevant to the actual crime or case. This can lead to even more suspicion at the end. You all must know the infamous case of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, since the whole court process was broadcasted live for the whole world to see. During this process, it was truly bizarre to witness how Amber tried to describe every little detail that she remembered during her fights with Johnny Depp, such as how the carpet felt or what color something was, etc. Perhaps she thought that remembering such details would add credibility to her stories, but it came off as ingenuine and forceful, as if she's intentionally adding unnecessary details to cover for her lies. We have to be wise and discern which credibility we should draw from. It's not always the obvious choice. I think the discernment to know which credibility would be effective in a given situation or setting is the key to persuasion. All right, the fifth word is emotion. Think of the last time you tried to help someone, maybe a friend or family member, or think of the last luxury item you bought for yourself or for someone. Why did you grant help to the other person? Why did you decide to purchase that particular product? Chances are that what compelled you to act was not logical and rational thinking, but rather an emotion. You felt sorry for someone in need, which prompted you to give them a call or lend a helping hand. You feel a certain emotion when you see that particular brand, which compels you to spend extra money to purchase that particular product. Stats are not enough. You have to make people care. We think we are rational creatures, but when we truly consider our daily life choices, it is much more emotional than rational. So, how do we make people care? The book shows 3 methods. The first method is association method or piggybacking strategy. The book says we don't have to produce emotion from an absence of emotion. In fact, many ideas use a sort of piggybacking strategy, associating themselves with emotions that already exist. Disney's live-action remakes are piggybacking on our emotion of childhood memories and nostalgia. It may not be the most popular method, but it clearly works. The second method is invoking self-interest. Many YouTubers use this strategy. The self-guru, the improve yourself, and motivational speakers are all invoking our self-interest. The final method is appealing to identity. If you want to be like James Bond, buy this watch. All right, the last letter S stands for story. Why is it important to tell stories? How are stories different from other methods of communication? The book says that the mental simulation is best for altering our future and providing a guideway to how we should act. Story provides a similar solution to our problem. It shows us what we can do without ever doing it. The second major payoff that stories provide is inspiration. Inspiration drives action, as does simulation. And to inspire, you cannot simply say the obvious and state a bunch of statistics and facts. It has to invoke emotion in us. It has to be relatable, and it has to be interesting. The book provides 3 basic plots for telling compelling stories: the challenge plot, the connection plot, and the creativity plot. The challenge plot is when a protagonist overcomes a formidable challenge and succeeds. A connection plot is about people who develop a relationship that bridges a gap. Gaps can be racial, class, ethnic, religious, demographic, or otherwise. And the last creativity plot involves someone making a mental breakthrough, solving a long-standing puzzle, or attacking a problem in an innovative way. Using these 3 methods, one can create a story that is effective and interesting. All right, so we went through each of the letters of success: simple, unexpected, concrete, credible, emotional, and story. Using these 5 methods of communication, we can ensure that the message we're trying to convey stands out and creates a lasting impression on others. Of course, one message may not be able to contain all 5 traits, but ensuring that it contains at least, it's 6, right? Yeah, all 6 traits, but ensuring that it contains at least some of the 6 aspects of success will greatly increase the chances of creating a compelling and effective message. So let's go back to the example I showed you at the start of the video. Tesla does not advertise or pay for endorsements. Instead, we use that money to make the product great. Is this message simple? Yes. Is this message unexpected? Yes, we expect large automotive companies to use millions on advertising, but Tesla says they spend none. That's out of the ordinary and surprising. Is this message concrete? Yes. There's nothing ambiguous or abstract about this message. Is this message credible? Definitely, since it is Elon Musk, a famous billionaire who's the CEO of the company, saying it. Is this message emotional? I think so, since many people are sick of false advertisements and companies over-exaggerating their product quality. And here comes Tesla saying they spend 0 on ad, but instead focuses on making good products. It definitely invokes a sense of trust and passion. Finally, is this message a story? Well, not exactly, but it does make for a very good story. Ideas and messages that stick is not coincidental. It can be orchestrated and molded if you know the method and approach to making your messages sticky. I highly recommend this book to anyone that's interested in making your message stand out amidst the endless noise and distractions. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and see you in my next video.